Hello and good afternoon. Thanks for joining us. I'm Azlania Dani and you're watching Updates at Noon. Making the headlines today, Omicron wave has begun in Malaysia. And tensions increasing as Moscow sends more troops to Belarus. The Omicron wave has begun in Malaysia and the number of COVID-19 cases in the country is expected to rise. According to Health Minister Khairi Jamaluddin, the matter, however, is under control due to Malaysia's high vaccination rate. In a tweet on his official Twitter page, Khairi said the country's healthcare system is well prepared to face the rise of COVID cases, with patients in categories 3, 4 and 5 are declining. Meanwhile, Health Director General Tan Sri Dr. Noor Hisham Abdullah in his Facebook post informed the readiness of the Ministry of Health. MOH also includes the implementation of public health measures and coverage of periodic self-testing. He added that these measures will be effective in curbing spike of cases as well as the severity of infections, especially for those with comorbidities. Starting today, 4 integrated vaccination centres, PPVs, in the Klang Valley will provide walk-in booster dose vaccination services to adults aged 18 and above. The 4 PPVs are PPV World Trade Centre, WTC, Kuala Lumpur, PPV Axiata Arena, Bukit Jalil, PPV Ideal Convention Centre Shah Alam and PPV Dewan Soka Gakai in Klang. In a statement, the Ministry of Health informed that the involved PPVs will provide AstraZeneca shot to recipients. It added that the ministry aims to increase the rate of booster dose intake as well as ensuring optimal immunity protection against COVID-19, including the threat of the Omicron variant. It also said that the Pfizer vaccine will also be provided for certain individuals such as pregnant women who have received an appointment or individuals who have contradictions to the AstraZeneca vaccine. Individuals who wish to walk in for their booster shots need to ensure that the digital vaccination certificate in the MySejahtera application is complete to ensure a smooth vaccination process. Meanwhile, the MOH has confirmed that no placebos are being used in the National COVID-19 Immunization Program, PICK. In a statement, MOH said claims made in the viral video that placebos were being used in PICK were not true. It said placebos, which did not contain active substances, were only used in clinical studies. It further stressed that all pharmaceutical products, including vaccine approved by the Drug Control Authority DCA, were produced through manufacturers that complied with international standards. The ministry added that the National Pharmaceutical Regulatory Agency, NPRA, also evaluated manufacturing documents and conducted cold chain inspections for each batch of COVID-19 vaccine products to ensure the content and quality of vaccine products were guaranteed. The MOH also questioned how the party in the video had obtained a sample of COVID-19 vaccine and conducted a test on its contents, when in fact COVID-19 vaccines were only allowed to be sold and supplied to the government and government-authorized parties. As such, MOH viewed the claims made in the video as fake news and an attempt to confuse the public, adding that it would be lodging reports with the police and the Malaysian Communications and Multimedia Commission over the matter. 107 COVID-19 clusters in educational institutes have been recorded between 1st to 25th January, involving 4,633 cases. Health Director General Tan Sri Dr. Noor Hisham Abdullah said that the significant increase was recorded after the opening of the 2022 schooling session. Tan Sri Dr. Noor Hisham added that out of 107 education clusters, educational institutions from the Ministry of Education, MOE, contributed the highest number, namely 56 clusters. He also said out of the 4,633 cases in the education cluster, 4,092 cases were fully vaccinated and 112 cases had received the booster dose. He also confirmed that 99.7% of the cases were made up from categories 1 and 2, while only 12 cases were from categories 3 and 4. with all of them now in stable condition at healthcare facilities. Based on investigations by the district health officers, the infections were due to non-compliance with SOP by educational institution staff while at school, as well as after schooling hours, especially for those living in hostels. Schools administration are advised to fully comply with the guidelines for school management and Operation 3.0 issued by the MOE. The government has decided to refund prospective pilgrims that were affected by the temporary suspension of Umrah trips due to the concern of COVID-19 Omicron variant transmissions. Minister in the Prime Minister's Department for Religious Affairs, Idris Ahmad, said the refund amount and its distribution date will be announced soon.
Nama mereka terlibat dan wang ini akan kita masuk melalui pejabat tabung haji dan semua di kalangan kita ni yang terlibat boleh ambil wang tersebut di pejabat tabung haji yang berdekatan. InsyaAllah kita akan umumkan sedikit masa lagi bilakah wang itu dimasukkan ke dalam tabung haji.
He added that the amount will not cover the overall Umrah cost. However, it is hoped that it will alleviate the burden of those affected. He also reminded Umrah pilgrims not to obtain fake COVID-19 vaccination certificates. Yesterday, Minister of Tourism, Arts and Cultures, Datuk Sri Nancy Shukri, announced that the government will allow Muslims to resume Umrah pilgrimage starting 8th February. SEA Games and ASEAN Para Silver Games and bronze medalists can rejoice as their allowances have been increased with immediate effect. Youth and Sports Minister Datuk Sri Ahmad Faizal Azumu said the silver medalists will have their allowances raised from RM800 to RM1,500 a month, while that for the bronze medalists will be increased from RM800 to RM1,000 per month. He explained that allowances had to be increased to ensure the continuity of the training plans and welfare of the athletes. For athletes who do not meet the selection criteria to be included in the full-time training program, Datuk Sri Ahmad Faizal said the National Sports Council (MSN) had been asked to provide assistance each time these athletes attend training in phases. He added that the assistance in the form of accommodation, training facilities, food and drinks and support services must continue to be offered according to the planning proposed by each National Sports Association. Meanwhile, the minister said the contracts have been offered now also focus on the preparation for specific games, with the training allowance centered on the achievements of an athlete in the games they took part in. On another matter, Datuk Sri Ahmad Faizal said KBS is committed to ensuring that the Tour de Langkawi LTDL will be held this year. The minister said this after holding discussions with the Malaysian National Cycling Federation and organising company Human Voyage yesterday. Datuk Sri Ahmad Faizal also said that he would hold further talks with MNCF after the Chinese New Year celebrations to work out what else needed to be further improved in conjunction with the hosting of the prestigious cycling race.
Salah satu lagi persetujuan yang telah kita capai ialah penangguhan tarikh penganjuran itu daripada bulan Mac kepada pertengahan tahun. Hari ini negara kita masih berada di dalam fasa pandemik. Maka SOP-nya juga masih lagi ketat. Maka kita perlu perharusi perkara ini dengan pihak MKN dan juga KKM.
At the same time, the minister also hoped that major companies and corporations would sponsor this year's LTDL.
Why do we tell you stories?
Relevant,
New,
efficient,
accurate.
reliable. We bring you extraordinary stories from around the world, from politicians, bankers, and even your favorite celebrities. This and many more on RTM's English News.
That concludes today's edition of Updates at Noon. In our top story, Omicron wave has begun in Malaysia. Tune in to News at 10 coming up at 10 p.m. on saluran Berita RTM on My Previews channel 123. You can also stream the news by surfing RTM Play. Thank you. I'm Azlani Adani. Stay tuned to TV2. Goodbye for now.